Welcome back, and now for the news in detail. In Spain, the death toll from the new coronavirus has crossed 22,000 after the fatal disease killed another 440 people overnight. The US continues to be the virus epicenter, losing over 2,100 lives to the pandemic over the past 24 hours as the country's tally tops 47,000. The disease has killed over 180,000 people worldwide, with almost 2.6 million infected. More in this report.
Countries across the world are retreating on lockdown measures and forced to contain COVID-19. But there is fear that lifting movement restrictions too soon will lead to a spike in infections. In a dramatic shift of stance, the biggest decrier of lockdowns, US President Donald Trump criticized Georgia's decision to lift restrictions. Meanwhile, UN Chief Antonio Guterres has warned against the use of COVID-19 restrictions to peddle repressive authoritarian agendas.
Against the background of rising ethno-nationalism, populism, authoritarianism, and the pushback against human rights in some countries, the crisis can provide a pretext to adopt repressive measures for purposes unrelated to the pandemic. This is unacceptable. More than ever, governments must be transparent, responsive, and accountable.
Although China has reported no new COVID-19 deaths for 8 days in a row, the rising number of asymptomatic cases in the country remains a threat. In the UK, Foreign Minister Dominic Raab has warned that the second wave of coronavirus cases will pose an even greater risk. The government says full restrictions will remain in place for at least another 3 weeks and levels of social distancing for much longer.
We have to be very realistic that if people are hoping that it's suddenly going to move from where we are now in lockdown suddenly into everything's gone, that is a wholly unrealistic expectation. We're going to have to do a lot of things for really quite a long period of time.
Turkmenistan, one of the few nations in the world that has reported no cases of the coronavirus, has insisted its official data is true and it is not hiding anything.